Hey guys, this is Mike with DarkSaintStudios, and I'm just going to do a breakdown of the portal level made with just After Effects. And a lot of what this is the layering of comps into making 3D space, essentially, or the illusion of 3D space. So, essentially what this mostly is for the environment itself, I went in and you can see that I have this wall comp, and it's just the wall texture, and I would go in and layer it all up, and then I divided out each section of the wall, so the left side of the wall, the right side of the wall, the pit wall. I layered it, I pre-composed it all out, so it was much easier to deal with. So instead of having all these individual layers, I now only had walls left condensed to deal with in the environment comp. And same thing for the right wall and this back pit wall, as well as the launch block, I called it. And I did the exact same thing for the floor and the ceilings. Floor is like two comps, I think. I have this comp, the pit, and these comps up, and like in a separate comp for this up here. These types of walls where you can't shoot the portals have their own comps that are divided up, and same with the ceiling. And then let's see here. Now you might be noticing that there's a little bit of glitching going on. A lot of this is due to, like, what I believe it is. It's that when you start combining 3D layers with 2D layers on top of them, I find that you tend to get a little bit of glitching with the 3D. Mostly, from what it's been explained to me is that After Effects does 3D not by measurements like feet, inches, centimeters, meters, whatever you use. It does it by pixel depth. And so when you start combining, I don't know why it is, but when you start combining 2D with 3D, it starts to confuse After Effects, I guess. That's just the way it's been explained to me. I don't know if that's accurate, but to me it makes sense, I guess. Moving on. So for this gun comp, it's simply just a rotoed out image of the gun. Yay. Gun lightning. I have the effects lightning, and that's under obsolete. I have track mats of the gun so it illuminates as the lightning is turned on. Firing the orange portal, and that's completely spelled wrong, but what it is, I have these adjustment layers that have CC particle world on them to emit the particles a certain distance, and it's timed up within the environment so that as you fire within that firing portal comp, it fires also at the proper timing within the environment comp. Alright, and then from there, let's see here. Same thing with the firing blue, done the exact same way. Let's move on to the portals. And I didn't throw anything in there, but that's my fault. What I have for the portals is basically made the portals, and then as you can see as I go through the portals, or as the character goes through the portals, and I'll try to find it. Here we go, he's coming up. As you go through the portals, you can see that the perspective of what's going on in the portal changes as well. And what I did for that is that I went in And as he comes out of the portal, right there, I took a screenshot. And I layered it within the portal comp. Actually, I layered it within the floor comp. And then, so as you can see through the portal, there's just a mask, a circular mask on that floor at that given time. So you can see through the floor, and below it, let me see if I can find it. Give me a sec. Alright, here we go. So at this given time, you can see that there's no one there. Let's zoom out. And that's when the portal's over on that side. There's a mask, so you can see through it. Then it changes. As you jump through it, I have this layered image, the screenshot, that so when you go through it, it will change perspective and it'll grow bigger as well. If you just layered an image within that portal, it wouldn't change perspective, and when you started to pass through it, it wouldn't look like you just passed through it. The gun would start to disappear as well. So I layered it out in Z space within this floor comp, so it grows and changes perspective, and when you actually pass through it, it does technically look like you're passing through it and coming out on the other side. And the way it just teleports is, let's see here, front, I think it is. Maybe. No, not front. Left. Alright, there we go, and let's select this camera. You can see that. Come on. Okay, this one's confusing as well. Top isn't. Here we go. This might work out a little bit better. Trying to find the spot where he passes through the portal. And I can't seem to find it anywhere. I think it's at like 25, but it's not. But essentially what I've done is you can sort of see this camera path. And right here is, from here to here, is when he passes through a portal, and it's simply one frame apart. So it passes through, next frame, he's over here and he passes through. That way it looks like he's teleporting through the 3D environment. For the cube, or actually we'll do the button first, because cube is easier to explain with the button. Done. For the button, it's essentially made up of 3 different comps: button base, button top, and then the gray supports. And for the button top, it's essentially really closely layered shapes, layered very closely together to make it look like it's a 3D object, because there's technically no actual 3D objects within After Effects. Everything has to be layers. Gray support, what I did is I built each individual part and then I layered it so it looks like it's a 3D object. Button base, did the exact same thing that I did for the button top. Really closely layered 3D shapes, thrown all together and arranged properly. Made into 3D, and then preserved that 3D within the environment so that, let's see here, maybe right there. I don't know the timing anymore. It's been so long since alright, here we go. We'll go back just a bit, maybe, if this will cooperate. Maybe you need to go for. Let's You know what would be easier? Let's just do this. Let's just turn you off. There we go. And you can see that the button's there, and there's a little bit of glitching going on, but with the cube in the way, and with the motion blur turned on and all the movement going on, you really can't see all the glitches. And then for the cube itself, this took me the most amount of time. So what I did is I originally had this image and I layered it 6, and I thought that looks sort of stupid. And so what I did is I traced each part of the cube using solids and then masking out. Like, so I did the corner. Let's see here. Corner, not that one. There we go. And you can see the corner. And then cube side, not that one. Not that one. Where is that? Hold on, give me a second, please. Cube mid is what it's called. There we go. Same thing with this. I can sort of tell what it is. I have no idea. So you guys can. There we go. You can see all the individual parts that make up it. And then I threw it into, not that one, cube final 2. There we go. This cube final was and these cube corners were ones that were fails, and I didn't end up using it because I messed up halfway through and I didn't feel like going back, so I just restarted on it. And so they're all layered, so duplicated, layered, and properly aligned to make up this cube. So in a sense, I think there's a total of like 200 layers or more that make up just this cube. For each individual side, duplicated out 8 times. Let's see here, there's cube mid, made up of 10. So that's 80 for those. Cube corner, no. Cube side. Let's see here, control 9 of those. So that is 72 times 6. I don't feel like, or no, 72, because that's times what? Hold on. Fuck. Alright, well, I don't feel like doing math because this is a tutorial and math is not required. But anyway, let's just say that there's a mass amounts of layers that make up this comp. Let's just go with that, because that's essentially what it is. A lot of layers to make it look like 3D. And there you go. And then that's that. Let's see if there's anything else. You'll see that there's a bunch of these actual cube comps. And that's when he picks up the cube, I can just parent it to the camera. So I don't have to move the cube as I move the camera. I just split it up and like, oh, this one's parented. This one's not when he drops it or when it's already on the floor. And I really think that's it. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the area below or message me if it's a lengthy one. I'm not really going to explain how I made all the portals or like the force field that I had right there. There's already tutorials online for those, and you just gotta do a little bit of searching for them. Same thing with illuminating the gun. You just gotta do a little bit of searching. I'm not going to supply with links because essentially I'd just be doing the searching for you. As far as lighting goes, it's essentially 7 lights layered throughout the 3D environment. Played with material options to make it shiny and whatnot and make it look all cool and whatever. But yeah, I think that's it. See you guys later.